An introduction to ratios. This is a digital lesson. So it starts out with a definition of what a ratio is and then an example. And there are three different ways you can write a ratio, with the word to, as a fraction, and with a colon. So the first slide students are going to work on is slide 3. And they're just going to type in here, write the ratio of red circles to yellow circles in 3 different ways. So it would be 5 to 3, with the word to, 5 to 3 as a fraction, and 5 to 3 with a colon. So you just have to write it in 3 different ways. So here, now they're going to do the same thing, but this time ratio of elephants to zebras. And they're going to write it in 3 different ways. Then they're going to find equivalent ratios, which work exactly like equivalent fractions. So here, if you multiply by 3, you're going to get 18. So they just type in 18. Here, you divide by 7, and you're going to type in it 2. Now they can see equivalent ratios in tables. So each of these x to y is a ratio. And to make them equivalent, just type in the missing numbers. So 1 to 3 would be the same as 3 to 9. And 5 to 15. They've got 2 more tables. They have to do the same thing, make all of their ratios equivalent. And it tells them here that these are proportional tables. If all of these ratios are equivalent, it's called a proportional table. Now they're given a couple other designations in ratios. A part-to-part ratio would be comparing a part of a group to another part of that same group. For example, 5 red roses to 7 yellow roses. Part to whole would be comparing a part of a group to the whole group. So for example, 8 girls to 25 total children. So the next slide, students are going to just type in whether these are part to part or part to whole. The next one, they're going to type in the ratio. So the ratio of boys to girls, 14 to 16. But make sure they simplify. So they need a simplified ratio, 14 to 16. Girls to boys would be 16 to 14, but simplified. So just divide by 2. And the ratio of teacher to student. So there's 1 teacher, and then they have to add these 2 together to get their total students. And then again, in simplest form, so this is a ratio of a bowl of fruit with 10 strawberries, 5 grapes, and 15 raspberries. So what's the ratio of grapes to strawberries, raspberries to grapes, and strawberries to total pieces of fruit? And then they're going to write these ratios or type them in simplest form. And that's the lesson, Introduction to Ratios.